your fighter. Fight.
Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm getting up close and personal with these guys right here. So I've previously uploaded my complete autumn winter coat collection, which I'll link in the card so you can have a watch there. It's a beefy video because it's all of the coats that I wear, but by popular demand and considering how many questions I get about the coats that I have from the Curated, I thought that I would have a dedicated video based on the coats that I have from the brand. What can you expect in this video? Well, I'll do a comparison between the different styles that I have. I'll share my thoughts on my experience with sizing, and I will talk about the fabric composition, general wear and tear, how I feel about the pieces. Now, while I'm only going to be focusing on the coats from the Curated in this video, I'm also wearing the blazer from the brand, which I have previously reviewed, and I will link up there somewhere. But since posting that review, I've had the coat tailored, only in the arms, but it's made a world of difference. So the blazer now doesn't look too large on me. It's got an oversized vibe already as it is, but because the arms hit at the right spot, it looks amazing, if I say so myself. I'll do a little bit of a shimmy. There you go. And so I thought it was only appropriate and fitting that I wear one of their blazers when talking about their coats.
It's smashing, smashing.
And if you haven't yet heard of the Curated is a sustainable luxury brand, a slow fashion label, and it's a carefully sourced collection of timeless, high quality pieces. There's a real focus there on getting longevity out of your pieces, and so there's a lot of timeless and classic cuts in quality fabrics that are designed to last. Not only does the brand encourage us to consider our own consumption, there's also an element there of honest pricing behind the brand. And so there's a lot of disclosure there on their website, and they share a lot of information about the processes that go into making an item and also the way in which they price their pieces. So you get a real behind the scenes glimpse about the brand, and there's a real community aspect about it too. There's also a Facebook group where you can ask questions and also sell your pieces from the Curated, and so it's encouraging a circular economy. So if you haven't yet heard of the brand, then I encourage you to take a look at the website and get a feel for the brand yourself.
Choose your fighter. Fight.
Okay, so we have 4 coats, 4 different colors, 3 different styles, 8 armholes, 1 coat enthusiast. I think that's all the stats I can give you right now. Let's do it! So the first coat that we're going to get up close and personal with is the London coat, and this happens to be one of the brand's best-selling styles. It's a newish cut, I'd say, in the last year or two. In terms of the style, it's an oversized box cut with a double-breasted silhouette. There are drop sleeves and there are side pockets. It's double-faced, which means that it isn't lined, but it still retains a bit of structure when you're wearing it. Size-wise, and this can be a little bit tricky across the brand because it's different across the different styles, I went for the size extra small in this style. And for reference, I'm 158 centimeters tall, and I typically wear a size Australian 8. And I would say that this style is still pretty oversized on me. When I was inquiring about size with their customer service team, which is something that I recommend you do as well, just so that you can get that peace of mind, it was recommended that I go for the size extra small. But I didn't want something to be too fitted. I wanted something where I could play a little bit with proportions. And so I went for the size extra small, and I'm quite happy with it.
I'm very disappointed in you.
I know.
You deliberately disobeyed me.
As you can see, it's quite oversized on me, and it is quite long. It sort of hits me midway down my calf. And similarly with a lot of their other coats in the range, it comes with a removable belt. And particularly with this oversized style, when you belt this coat, it looks like a completely different jacket. Because the silhouette with the waist cinched in, it just looks so much dressier. And because it's a softer double-faced fabric, it looks quite nice when it's cinched in. It doesn't look too bulky. This coat is made of a real luxe fabric mix, so it's 70% wool and 30% cashmere, and the coat is amazingly soft. I've had a lot of friends and family come over to sort of feel up and rub my jackets. Specifically the Curated ones, because I harp on about them so much over on my Instagram and on my blog, and everyone's reaction is, wow, that is super, super soft. And so that's exactly how I would describe it. Super, super soft. And considering the price for this type of fabric mix, I think that it's incredible value for money, considering if you take care of it, this is an item that you can wear for a really, really long time. And so that is coat number 1, the London coat in navy. Okay, so the next style that I have to talk you through is the tailored coat. And I have this one in 2 different colors, in the camel and in the forest green. And it also comes in 2 different fabric compositions. So this one here is a 70% wool, 30% cashmere mix. This one here is the 90% wool, 10% cashmere mix. And I'll share a little comparison between the fabrics a little bit later. In terms of the style, the tailored coat is designed to be a dressier coat from their collection. And so if you're familiar with the brand, the Curated's iconic classic coat is what started everything. And that coat is an oversized, sort of straight cut, patch pocket style coat, whereas this coat here is a little bit more slim fitting. There's the slip pockets. It's just got the design features that make it a little bit more elegant. For me, with my personal style, I prefer the tailored coat over the classic coat because I think that I generally get dressed for more dressier environments. So I work in a corporate environment and I figured that this would be more suited to it. Having said that, I see no issue with wearing the classic coat to work either because all of the coats are really quite dressy and quite luxe in the way in which they look. So in terms of the sizing, I have an extra small in both of these coats and the size fits me well. If anything, the arms are a tad long, but that's just because I'm petite. And I normally take the arms of my coats up, but I haven't really felt it necessary in this case because they don't really irk me. And as you know, I'm not shy of going to the tailor. I take things to the tailor when I really feel like it would make a difference and an impact, like my blazer that I'm wearing right now. The sizing for the tailored coat runs true to size in my experience, and I've got a lot of feedback from a lot of you as well saying that it also runs true to size. Now, it's worthwhile noting that the tailored coat style is getting a little bit of a revamp, and so it has been recut. It no longer comes in this silhouette. So I have the older style, which has more of an A-line cut. And personally, I think it's a little bit of a shame that the cut has changed because I really like the A-line style. Personally, being pear-shaped, I think that it's really quite flattering. It doesn't skim on the parts that I'm most self-conscious about on my body, but they've changed the style as a result of feedback. And so I think it still maintains a little bit of an A-line, but it's just not as obvious as the ones on the older versions. Now let's talk about fabric, because while I have the same style coat, I do have them in different fabric compositions. And the one with less cashmere in its wool blend, this one here, it's got 10% cashmere. I think that this one is a lot more structured in comparison to this one here, which has 30% cashmere in its wool blend. So this one I would describe as being super, super soft. To use the same technical term as for my London coat, but this one I would describe as still pretty soft with a little bit of structure. And so I think for work purposes, where I wear quite structured suits and dresses and things like that, I think that this will be a real welcome addition to my work outerwear rotation because of the structure that it provides with less of the softer fabric. This one is still newish. I picked it up recently in the archive sale. I think I got 30% off, and so I haven't yet had a chance to wear it to the office just while I'm still working from home. While this one isn't as soft, it still feels really luxe and premium with the cashmere blend. Very similar to the totem coats that I have and that I shared in my coat collection video. It's that same sort of structured double-faced wool, whereas this coat here is just next level luxe, next level softness. And so depending on what you're after, I think that if you want your coats to have a little bit more structure, then I think that you'll quite enjoy the 90-10 composition. But if you want your coats to be just completely luxe, completely soft and flowy, then the 70-30 composition will be one that you'll like as well. The tailored coat forms part of their core collection. The camel colour is one of their permanent styles, and they from time to time release other colours depending on the dead stock fabric that they get their hands on. And so I was just lucky enough to get this piece, which isn't part of their core collection, because I think what the brand does is they just pick up dead stock fabric from different factories and then they create pieces from it to reduce waste, which is excellent and amazing. And so that is the tailored coat. The last coat that I have from the brand is the modern coat, and historically speaking in my wardrobe, this happens to be the least modern of all of the curated coats that I have in my wardrobe because it was the very first one that I added. I've had this coat now for a few years and it is held up beautifully. The modern coat is a really minimal jacket. It's got a collarless neckline and it is just simply beautiful. It's very similar to the coats that you would have seen from the Row or from Loewe a few years ago. It's got that real minimal aesthetic. To me, it's got this real regal element as well, just from the way that the neckline sits and the way that it's cut. I think that it is a beautiful piece. Now I have this one in the light khaki melange color, which is a cool toned off-white. So they have a few different light colored offerings in their collection. Bone color is one that sort of comes to mind. Even though it's described as an off-white, that actually has a warmer undertone to it, whereas the khaki melange has a cool tone, and I much prefer the cool tone lighter neutral shade, so I'm really glad that I have this one. I think that it would suit darker skin tones like mine, and so I think that you should have a look out for the light khaki melange if a light neutral coat is on your radar. Now the modern coat is being revamped, similar to the tailored coat, to have a more modern twist. I think Nicola is always looking to perfect all of her cuts, all of her styles, and she's always making tweaks based on customer feedback. And so that's a really good aspect about the brand as well, that she's always open to changing and always open to improving. I have a feeling that the new modern coats will be released later on in the year in the same color ranges as they are typically offered. But this is a style that I would say is a dressier one out of all the ones that I have. A great one for work, a great one for date nights, a great one for events. I highly recommend this cut. And it also has the removable welt so you can cinch in the waist, though I typically wear this one just open and loose. And size wise, I took a size extra small in this one, and I would say that this is true to size. It is quite fitted in comparison to the tailored coat, and so I could have probably sized up to a size small, but I think if I did that, then the arms would have been a little bit too long and the length might have been a little bit too long on me. And so I think that that's something that's being addressed in the newer style. It's not going to be as fitted, but it's still going to retain that modern and contemporary look. And that's a wrap on all of the coats that I have from the Curated. There are a few styles that I have on my radar that I would love to add. I really love their wrap style jacket. I also like the modern jacket. So not only do they have a coat range, they've also got a jacket range, which is sort of a shorter collection of coats that sit just below the hips. And their pieces constantly sell out because everyone's getting the memo that their pieces are pretty awesome. Now I often get asked if I could pick just one coat from my collection, which one would it be? Which one is my favorite? And personally, it would be the tailored coat, because I think that it's one that I can style in both dressy looks, it looks great for work, and the second coat that I would choose is probably the London coat, because I really love the relaxed aesthetic. The modern coat is really just one that you can wear in dressier looks, so it's not as versatile as the others. I think that's why I like the other two styles a little bit more, because you can dress them up and you can dress them down. But having said that, I really love these coats. I can't see myself parting ways with any of them. Every time I wear them, I just feel like I'm totally chic. So thank you so much for watching. I hope that this little comparison was helpful to any of you guys who have a Curated coat on your radar. I highly recommend them. I will link all of the reviews that I've written up about the Curated coats on my blog down below so that you can have a little bit more of a read, a little bit more of a mull. If you have any questions specifically about these styles, then leave them in the comments section below, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.